I want to give a big shout out also to the DeKalb County Democratic Party for hosting this, first ever Democratic Party of DeKalb convention. In accordance with the bylaws, you're to be commended for holding this hearing. And I know it's very difficult with the technical stuff, to pull stuff off for the first time. But thank you all for your diligence in making it happen, getting through all of the technical issues and making it happen. And I myself, I could feel a little badly because I wasn't put up with my fellow US representatives at the start of the meeting. But I think whatever the reason for that may be, whatever may be or whatever will be, will be. I just appreciate the fact that the citizens of the 4th Congressional District have seen fit to reelect me for an 8th term. I'm claiming it even though I'm on the ballot against a Republican in November, but I'm really not expecting her to do very well, and I'm expecting to be reelected for an 8th term. And I want to thank all of the citizens of the 4th District for their support for me. And please know that as State Representative Viola Davis said, I work for you, and I'm there to serve. I'm here to serve, and that's what my purpose is. So regardless of where I am on the program, I feel good in just being here. And so what I want to tell you all is that about a week or so ago, we had a briefing in the Judiciary Committee from a group of esteemed former legislators, former executive branch officials, high level, bipartisan, former campaign officials, former lawyers for campaigns. And this group came together and gamed out 4 most likely scenarios that will ensue after November 3rd. And their report to us, the Judiciary Committee, was startling. It was really deeply troubling of what might happen and or what is likely to happen. And that is a chaotic landscape brought about by misinformation and perhaps even violence. And President Trump is likely to contest the election result by both legal and extra-legal means. And he will do this in an attempt to hold on to power. We all know that Trump doesn't want to leave the White House. He wants to be an autocrat for life. He wants to be king for life. He wants to rule like Putin, and he wants to accumulate wealth. He's only there to serve himself. And he also knows that should he be defeated, then he's going to be subject to legal proceedings. Perhaps he might end up in jail. And so he really wants to remain in power. And the problem is that he has an attorney general who has shown himself willing to do everything he can to accommodate President Trump. Attorney General Barr has embraced Trump's groundless election fraud claims. He was complicit when the president commanded him to send federal agents out into the streets of Washington, D.C. and Portland, Oregon to subdue and suppress peaceful demonstrators. That's a precedent that has now been set. And I don't want you to go to sleep and think that that could not happen again, and on a much wider scale. It could have been just a dress rehearsal. And so, he will go to any lengths, and Attorney General Barr, will use the legal process and the rule of law to do anything that they can to ensure that Donald Trump remains in office, including doing everything that would cause this election to be thrown into the House of Representatives, where it would be decided by the House of Representatives on a one vote per state basis. So in other words, the majority of the states that have Republican majorities in their congressional delegations would hold the day. And there's 28 states out of the 50 that have majority Republican congressional delegations. And so if you go through the legal process, you stop the counting of the votes, you send competing electors to the electoral college, you gum up that process. Everybody knows that the election for president is not by popular vote, but by the electoral college. So if you gum that up, and in short, end up putting the election in the House of Representatives, then Trump can be reelected. And so these are some things that are real possibilities. And I say these things, and by the way, Michael Cohen said that Trump might start a race war. He's capable of starting, no, he didn't say starting a race war, but he's capable of putting a nation into war in order to get reelected. But what we are thinking is that he's talking about a war with Russia or North Korea or some other external adversary, but actually we should be considering the fact that he might start a race war, one of Americans against Americans, to create the kind of chaos that's needed for him to be able to put this election to get away from the popular vote and put it in the hands of the House of Representatives. So I say these things not to frighten you or scare you, but to spur you into action. This convention is meant to spur people into action, to make you go to work and fight hard for an emphatic result for Democrats on election day, most importantly for the presidency of the United States. We got to turn out, we got to get our friends out. And what I'm going to tell you all is that everybody's been talking about voting by mail, but voting by mail and delayed results due to voting by mail plays right into Trump's hands. What we really need is an emphatic repudiation of Trump on election night, counting up the in-person voting. Those will be the first results that are counted. And so we really, if you don't have to vote by mail and you can afford to go out and vote in person, then go out and vote in person, but do so early and don't wait until the last day. And if you do vote by mail, since they've gummed up the post office, it's best that you take your vote and put it in a drop box as opposed to putting it back in the mail. And that way, at least we'll know that your vote will get to the voter, to the county voting office. And so I can go on, but I just want you all to know that the future, it looks as cloudy as a day in San Francisco or Portland right now. Everything is on fire, literally. And so it could be that way figuratively with our elections. So I want you all to be on guard, work hard to obtain a great result on election night for all of our Democratic candidates. Be prepared to take further action after November 3rd. Be prepared with your money, to support causes that will fight what may be happening, and also be prepared to take it to the streets in peaceful protest. That's what our fight is all about right now. So let's not let it get to that point. Let's go ahead and score this victory, and let's make sure we don't let up off of our friends who may be leaning towards the Republicans, saying that, okay, Trump is giving me some extra money. I don't have to pay my Social Security taxes. He's telling federal employees who make less than $100,000 a year that we're going to give you a break on that. But actually, that money is going to be due next year. So if they take it out this year, you'll owe it next year, which means your money is going to be tight. So don't Don't think you're getting something for nothing. We got to educate the people through these falsehoods and fraudulent claims out there. And with the pandemic raging and getting worse, the COVID-19 pandemic raging and getting worse, that is Trump's Achilles heel. And so let's stick with all of the people you've been talking to, trying to convert them to vote for Donald Trump. Don't give up, don't give out, don't give in, is what John Lewis used to say. Let's keep touching those people heart to heart and converting them, and let's score a big victory on November 3rd. Thank y'all so much. Don't forget about the census. You can still call in and do the census at 844-330-2020, or go and do it online at www.my2020census.gov. Last but not least, let me say that we should all extend a round of applause for Steve Henson and Michelle Henson, who are leaving public service after many, many years of public service. Thank you all for your service, and we wish you the best as you move forward with your new lives. And for those who are incoming to replace them, congratulations to you, and I look forward to working with y'all. And with that, I'm out. Thank you.